early voting happening, find what you need to know about casting your ballot in Travis County.
An Austin family went all out on Halloween decorations for a cause, how their spooky house helped other families nationwide.
A performance at the Blanton Museum is bringing art to life, what the experience is about, and more.
Reporting Texas TV starts now.
Good evening, I'm Terry Gutierrez.
And I'm Emma Claire Ellis.
Early voting for midterm elections began Monday morning with students braving rainy weather to support their favored candidates.
The Texas gubernatorial election between Beto O'Rourke and Greg Abbott has made national news, but there are other races to keep an eye on.
Taryn Jones is live in the newsroom with more.
Some changes to the voting process this year you might not have heard about yet. If you vote on the first day of early voting, some students arrived when the polls opened at 7 a.m. to cast their ballot. Others, like Brandon Bradley, actually camped out to be the first in line.
A group of friends and I with a student organization come at 7 p.m. to the FAC, and we have a voterama for the 12 hours before and hang out, play board games.
This year, there are 2 on-campus polling locations. For the next 2 weeks, students can cast their vote at either the Flawn Academic Center or, for those who live closer to Interstate 35, at the LBJ School of Public Affairs. Unlike in previous years, the Perry Castaneda Library is not a polling location. Currently, the most contentious election is the race for governor between Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke and Republican incumbent Greg Abbott.
Those top ticket races like governor are super important, but we also have hyper local issues that will shape the future of Austin.
Local ballot items include Proposition A, which would allocate $350 million to provide housing for lower and moderate income Austin residents. Texas law requires that voters present identification at polling locations. A few acceptable documents include a driver's license, passport, paycheck, or current utility bill. A university-issued ID is not considered to be appropriate identification. Experts say they believe the majority of UT students are more aware of politics because of the university's proximity to the state capitol.
The shadow of the Capitol extends all the way to the 40 acres. And even if they don't feel it when they walk onto the 40 acres, they can't help but feel it once they're on the 40 acres.
If you vote on campus tomorrow, you can catch Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke at 1:30 in the FAC. The official midterm election is on November 8th. For more information, visit reporting.
Whether you're voting for the first time or returning to the polls, information varies by county. Every Texan votes for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other statewide races. But your address determines state representatives, school districts, and other local races. You can check out a sample ballot online using the county clerk's voter lookup tool before you head to the polls.
A student advocacy group is calling for changes to the way a student's education is measured. The group, called Raise Your Hand Texas, says the STAR test is overly relied on and doesn't give the full picture of a school's success. A representative for the group says other indicators need to be used because the test alone isn't enough.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really trying to focus on all of the great things our schools are doing currently. One of the issues that we have is that we have an accountability system that focuses on one test given at one time a year. And we really want to move away from that model and look for something that does more for our students.
The group says the state should consider other factors when it comes to school ratings like pre-K programs and extracurriculars.
10,000 doses of a life-saving drug have arrived in Travis County. Naloxone, otherwise known as Narcan, saves the life of someone experiencing an opioid overdose. The shipment came from the humanitarian organization Direct Relief and is currently in high demand but short in supply. The county hopes to make it available in schools and other public places like bars and restaurants.
Tonight, the Austin School Board will be voting on a program that would make Narcan available at every AISD campus. The program will be part of the district's fentanyl response plan in partnership with police, emergency, and city health authorities. The move comes in an effort to prevent opioid overdoses, which have been on the rise in the U.S.
Distributing naloxone is very critical and important, and at the same time we do want to advocate for more comprehensive harm reduction services and strategies in our community.
If approved, Narcan doses will be given to school nurses. Elementaries will get 1, middle schools will get 2, and high schools will get 4.
A retired U.S. Air Force colonel faces a second charge of human trafficking. According to an arrest affidavit, 58-year-old Mark Stephen Jamison sexually assaulted 2 teenage girls. Authorities say he met the teens on Snapchat. Jamison was arrested on Friday when staff at one of the girls' schools called police. The affidavit states Jamison thought the teens were 18 years old and denied the assault allegation. He's currently in custody with his bond set at $500,000.
Texas may be a key player in passing federal missing persons legislations. The Help Find the Missing Act was introduced by 4 U.S. senators, including John Cornyn, earlier this month. This law would make it easier for families to add missing people to a national registry and streamline the reporting process. The legislation was inspired by a Connecticut family whose then 31-year-old son, Billy Smolinski, went missing 18 years ago and still hasn't been found.
Texas is a big fish. So when Texas passes a law, there's ripples in the water. People know it. People know that something significant has happened.
13 states, including Texas, passed similar state laws last year. Now, Texans are working with State Rep Lacey Hull to improve national missing persons laws.
Coming up, how a charity in Austin is helping brain injury survivors find new things to enjoy.
And how a new program is matching nurses with cancer patients to help them through treatment.
Ooh, Lauren invited you to play Critter Town. It's that game with all those cute animals. But like this guy. Look at him.
Talk or text later. Don't let your phone drive you.
No, I'm driving here.
You'll have to remain unloved.
The hardest thing with mental health is it becomes a spiral. And sometimes all you literally need is a little catalyst to help you to stop.
When I'm in pain or when I'm suffering, I have a really hard time reaching out and asking for help.
I know it's so hard to talk about mental health, but when you don't talk about it, you feel more isolated, you feel more alone.
If you feel something in your gut, if you feel something's wrong, you should, talk to them about that.
Sometimes starting a conversation with someone about their mental health can seem awkward, but your support can make a huge difference.
And I think that that's hopeful in those really dark times.
You might not know what to say, but there are a lot of things you can say to open things up.
I know you're going through some stuff, and I want you to know I'm here.
I deal with the same issues as well.
Maybe it's me, but I was wondering if you're all right.
Learn more about how to start the conversation at seizetheawkward.org.
Mr. Rhodes?
That was a little too close for anyone's comfort, mine included.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
The crosswalk stripes are sending you a message.
Stop for pedestrians. Got it.
And slow down.
I'll keep my eyes open from now on.
And we'll all get where we're going safely.
I want that, Mr. Rhodes.
I just love humanity. Does anybody need a hug?
Nurses at St. David's Hospital in Austin are hoping to make a difference in cancer patients' lives through their Nurse Navigator program. The program pairs nurses who have an advanced oncology certification with a cancer patient. Receiving a cancer diagnosis and treatment can be overwhelming, and the program is there to make that journey a little bit easier.
To have a nurse navigator take all of that, the pressure off of you or assist you with the business side of being a cancer patient is really helpful.
They also offer guidance throughout treatment, follow-up after appointments, and help keep patients on track.
An Austin family decorated their house in skeletons as part of a nationwide fundraiser. Skeletons for St. Jude hopes to raise $250,000 this year for St. Jude's Research Hospital. Its goal is to help sick children get well so they can enjoy Halloween. If you want to donate and learn more, you can visit the Cordonac Family's display in Southwest Austin.
An Austin charity called Small Victories is making a big difference in the lives of people who have suffered a brain injury. This past weekend, they held a fundraiser at Moon Tower Saloon. Christina Folsom tells us they're trying to raise more money to help more people.
Christopher McCoy, also known as Superman, is the survivor of a traumatic brain injury when he was attacked in Yukon, Pennsylvania back in 2016 for being a transgender man. He had to relearn how to do everyday tasks, and reconstructive surgeries left him mute. His only way to communicate with me for the story was by text. He said, "My head was smashed in every lobe, including my jaw, which was shattered with the butt of a shotgun. My ribs on the right side were shattered. My spine has a permanent severed disc. I was stomped on, tortured, and sexually assaulted as well." But despite these setbacks, small victories taught him how to play the piano and do pottery.
Oftentimes people, when they've had a brain injury, can't do some of the things that they were used to doing before. And so we provide new opportunities to kind of find new things that they enjoy and can share with others.
Small Victories relies on individual donors, so bringing back the annual Volley for Victories event helps raise money for classes to heal survivors through the arts.
We've done things like figure out a pottery teacher who can teach somebody who, because of a stroke or something, only has use of one hand.
Last year, Small Victories raised about $10,000, and at this year's tournament, they hope to raise about $1,500.
Small Victories showed McCoy that nothing can stop him from achieving his goals. In 2020, he traveled the country and now promotes his clothing line, Beasts Don't Break Apparel. Christina Folsom, reporting Texas TV.
Volley for Victories exceeded their goal and raised about $2,000 last Sunday. The money will go towards classes to teach survivors to play instruments, create art, and more. You can check out more on the Small Victories Foundation at reportingtexas.com.
Austin has another busy weekend in store as the 29th annual Austin Film Festival started today. Texas-made documentary Song of the Cicada is set to premiere in addition to other national and international-made films. The festival features contributions to film, TV, and new media. It will run until November 3rd and will be held across different theaters and venues in downtown.
After the break, find out if you need to bring a sweater for your holiday plans this weekend.
And later, what the Longhorn loss means for hopeful fans. Stay tuned.
Resume moments like these by protecting our kids against COVID-19 and dangerous new variants. Visit getvaccineanswers.org.
You make tons of choices every day. Things like what to wear, what to eat, or what music to listen to. But this choice is the easiest, and it can make a big difference in your family's health. It's choosing water over sugary drinks. Drinking lots of sugary drinks can lead to serious health issues like obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cavities. Choose water. It's your health, your choice. Choose what's best for you and your family.
COVID-19 has changed how we stomp the yard and feel the beat. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to strolling instead of scrolling. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Is it safe?
Should I get it? Is it free? It's okay to have questions. Now get the facts about COVID-19 vaccines at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your fam.
Sobran razones por las que debemos mantener a Texas libre de basura. Es importante reconocer que levantar la basura es levantar tu estado.
Hola, nosotras somos las 6, recordándoles, don't mess with Texas.
Oh, we're back already.
It seems the weather is taking the Keep Austin Weird motto a bit too seriously. Hot today, cold tomorrow. It's keeping us on our toes.
Isn't that right? Just when I'm about to settle in for my ideal fall weather, it just changes its mind. So, Iniola, what can we expect this weekend?
Ladies, I am very happy to report that we have cooler days ahead of us. And with it being Halloween weekend, the weather is just the right amount of sunshine and cool breeze. Let's take a look outside. There is definitely some excitement on campus. After all that heat, UT students are embracing the cooler weather, and fall fashion is in full swing. With a high of 80 today, the Texas heat is really putting up a good fight, but not for long. Temperatures will drop into the 60s by the end of the day, so if you have plans to go for an evening stroll, take a sweater along. Friday comes with scattered thunderstorms from about midnight up until noon. Because of the rain, temperatures will peak at 74 and drop later at night to the low 50s. A similar trend can be expected on Saturday and Sunday. If you'd rather be out under cloudy skies, Saturday is your day. But if sunny skies are more your speed, Sunday will be perfect for you. We see the same cloudy, sunny swap all through next week, but with higher temperatures. Monday and Tuesday peak at 77. Wednesday and Thursday go up into the 80s with cooler weather at night, Monday through Thursday. And it sure looks like, a lot of good things are happening this weekend. The Ventana Block Ballet is putting up a reimagination of Dracula for Halloween, and the 29th Austin Film Festival kicks off today. Ladies, what do you have on your schedules for this weekend?
Well, I'm excited to dress up for Halloween with my friends and hopefully seeing some trick-or-treaters on Monday, but just a fun, spooky Halloween weekend.
Yeah. I'm driving home, so I hope I don't get caught in the rain.
Well, I just gave you the forecast. There is no rain this Saturday and Sunday.
Coming up, how Formula One race broke an American record right here in Austin.
And later, we remember a Hollywood star who brought joy to so many and the legacy he leaves behind.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
As we open up businesses and begin rebuilding dreams here in Austin, let's also open up a new day of listening and mutual respect. That while we are all different, there is an us in Austin. And today, our local business owners, our hospitals, and our neighbors need us to wear a mask. A mask on each of us is a win for all of us. Let's be that city of us.
It doesn't matter what you drive. You're not above the law. Drivers and passengers. Click it or ticket.
The City of Austin Housing and Planning Department has grant programs that can ease some of the financial stress of owning a home. Whether you need better accessibility in or around your home, have major structural repairs like foundation, roofing, or even electrical issues, these programs may help you stay in your home and make it safer for everyone in your family. You, your neighbors, and your neighborhood are all part of what makes Austin uniquely Austin. Austin is your home. Visit austintexas.gov. Austin is my home.
You can help defend this community from COVID-19. Help us put the mask in mascot.
Protect this house.
Wash your hands, wear a mask, and watch your distance.
6 feet apart, oh yeah.
Good evening, I'm Christina Folsom with your sports update. Both Formula One and Team Red Bull came out winners at the Circuit of the Americas last weekend. Max Verstappen took the checkered flag for Team Red Bull and earned his second F1 World Championship in a row. It was also a huge weekend for F1, as the weekend saw 440,000 spectators race to the circuit, breaking the F1 US attendance record.
Tough weekend for us, and that's why we really wanted to do well today.
And of course it was all looking great up until that pit stop. And then we had to work for it a little bit harder than we would have liked. But luckily everything worked out and we got back into the lead with a few laps to go.
Up next for Verstappen is the Mexican GP this weekend, and F1 will return again to Austin next year. Austin FC hit 2 major milestones for the young franchise on Sunday. The Verde beat FC Dallas 2-1 on Sunday at Q2 Stadium to advance to the MLS Western Conference semifinal, where they'll play LAFC. This is the first time Austin has beat their Copa Tejas rival, and the first time they've advanced to the semifinals. The Verde will play on Sunday. The good luck for Austin sports didn't follow the Longhorns to Oklahoma last weekend. The team's Big 12 title chances are now out of their hands following a 41-34 loss to Oklahoma State Cowboys. The Longhorns led by as many as 14 points, but the offense stalled in the second half, scoring only 3 points. Texas coach Steve Sarkisian called the loss frustrating.
We didn't operate very good, and a lot of it was self-inflicted wounds. I don't take nothing away from Oklahoma State; they deserve to win, but a lot of what happened today was self-inflicted wounds that they didn't beat themselves, and they kind of hung around, and we started to beat ourselves.
The Longhorns get a break this week before traveling to Manhattan to play the Kansas State Wildcats. Following that loss, Steve Sarkisian faced some heat from Longhorn Nation after not singing The Eyes of Texas on the field. After the defeat, Sarkisian jogged up a ramp and into the locker room with players following his lead. The field was left with only a handful of Texas players to sing the school song. Coach Sarkisian says that not singing The Eyes of Texas was unintentional and in no way was meant to offend Texas fans or alumni. And I'm really bummed about that UT loss. I was hoping that we'd stay in the AP top 25.
I know. I'm like, we're always rooting for Texas, and it's always disappointing to see when they don't get it, but maybe they can make up and do better next time, and still maybe they'll all have fun out there.
Hopefully.
That's what matters. Coming up, Williamson County could be your next destination for fun weekend plans.
And if the rodeo isn't your style, find out what's happening at the Blanton Museum.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
I think that sometimes we can coast, especially in the age of social media, where we don't have to talk to our friends to know what they're up to and we assume how they're feeling. But when we go that extra mile, when we take that extra step to look them in the eye and say, how are you doing? Or tell me about X, Y, and Z, often we're just so happy to be seen that it opens up a dialogue pretty organically.
All you can do is help. I think it's always better to just do it than to hold back because, you know, the whole bystander effect happens where someone thinks, oh, but someone else will ask and someone else will give help to that person or someone else must have already noticed by now. But if everyone thought that, then no one would actually reach out and that person may not get the help that they need.
Beloved comedian and actor Leslie Jordan passed away in a car accident in Los Angeles Monday. Jordan is best known for his roles on the hit shows Will and Grace and American Horror Story, but you may have seen him on the internet in some of his viral videos during the pandemic too. Former co-stars and other celebrities like RuPaul and Sean Hayes have taken to social media to mourn the loss. Jordan was 67.
Painting and theater mingled this week at the Blanton Museum for the premiere of Costa, a performance about the history of Latin culture. Reporter Oyana Ochoa has more about the show.
What is your casta?
This performance is based on 19th century artwork called casta. The art could label someone based on their skin color, lineage, or the way they dress. The playwright says this type of bias continues to be an issue 200 years later. Her goal is to bring the art to life in many ways.
Costa is, I guess you would say, like a hybrid performance. So we have a mixture of scripted text, there's song, there's movement, there's a lot of puppetry involved.
Casta will be represented at Blaster Museum through October 13. The museum is located on Martin Luther King Boulevard, only a 2-minute walk from UT Tower. Admission is only $5 for UT students and free for all on Thursdays. The play is inspired by the paintings in the exhibition Painting Cloth, Fashion and Ritual in Colonial Latin America. It shows how different fabrics symbolize social status.
The performance by Salvage Vanguard Theater is very interesting because it's taking these paintings to life. So instead of being a representation of a canvas, it's becoming a theatrical display.
The creators of Casta hope the play will start a conversation about understanding of different races, and the audience can learn something new about today's society.
My favorite part was watching the painter interpret the situations. This is a subject I don't really know very much about, so it was really interesting learning something completely I'm unfamiliar with.
Oyana Ochoa, reporting Texas TV.
Costa premiered in collaboration with the Salvage Vanguard Theater and runs through October 30th. If you're interested in learning more about the exhibition, you can visit reportingtexas.com.
Fall festivities are officially in full swing. The Williamson County Fair and Rodeo is back for its second year and kicked off yesterday. The fun fall event will last through Saturday and is located at the Expo Center in Taylor. The fair will feature a Selena tribute with Amanda Solis and a brand new Paul Bunyan Lumberjack show. Money raised from the fair will be used for student scholarships. Thanks for joining us tonight on Reporting Texas TV.
If you'd like to check out any of our stories or our newscast, please visit reportingtexas.com. We'll see you next Thursday. Good night.